Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we are playing Selesnya 67, which is a Selesnya AURAS deck that I found over on the AetherHub. And it's got a 67% win rate over there. It's got a few interesting cards in here I haven't seen in other Selesnya Aura cards, and that kind of makes it a little interesting to me. If that sounds good to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, 80% entertainment by volume, Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you. Film before a live studio audience. Thank you so much, Yukon Socket. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the AetherHub, which is entitled Selesnya 67. Why Selesnya 67? Because it's a Selesnya deck, and they just call it Selesnya in the section I'm looking at, but it had a 67% win rate, and so I put 67 down. Now, it is a Selesnya AURAS deck, but there are a few extra cards in here that made it look interesting, things I hadn't seen before. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards in this deck. We'll talk a little bit how it should work, and we're going to go out and crush some hopes and dreams. What do we got? Well, it's all about putting out a few guys that like enchantments and then putting out enchantments. So what do we got here? We've got every time that enchantment is played, you put a Popo counter on target creature you control. This guy says that whenever you play an enchantment, you get to scry one, so it'll help you go through your library a little bit. For 3 mana, basically he gets Ethereal Armor, which is +1/+1 for each enchantment you control. So that's just built into him. Built in. It's not that expensive either. Who else do we got? We got this guy who comes out with Ward 2. Nothing about enchantments. But that's exactly the deal. Ward 2. You like warded guys because that way you can put them out early. They can't be shot. So therefore, you don't have to worry about them being killed. That's the best part there. This guy says he has that Vigilance, Trample, and Lifelink. He's a 2/2. But once each of your turns, you may cast an aura equipment from your graveyard. So if some of you guys die and they're covered with auras or auras, then you can just play him back out like onto this dude, pumping him up. He's got Trample built into him. If he's super pumped for Trample, they really can't stop him. Calix says that whenever he comes into play or an enchantment enters, you put a Popo counter on a target creature you control. So between him and Optimistic Scavenger, you'll be putting out Popo counters like crazy. And then whenever Calix or an enchanted creature deals damage to a player, then you can create a token copy of another non-legendary enchantment and put it on any creature you control. And you're going to do it once per turn. But that means you'll be making copies of your enchantments and putting things on with put more Popo counters on stuff. So what do they do? So that's all your dudes. What are we going to put on them? Ether Armor. So for Ether Armor for each enchantment you control, your dude gets +1/+1. This one protects your guy because it gives a temporary hexproof and +1/+1. And this gives your guy +2/+0 in trample. This gives your guy hexproof and a royal roll, which gives him +1/+1 and ward. Shelter by Ghost gives it ward 2 and lifelink and +1/+0. And kidnaps a non-land permanent your opponent controls. They should just make that kidnap. That'd be a great term for it. Hunter's Talent. This is the weird non-aura out there. When it comes into play, it deals damage equal to one of your guys' power to a target creature that you don't control. After that, whenever you attack, one of your guys gets +1 and trample. And at the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, which you'll be able to draw a card. And that's it. That's it for all you guys. So yeah, you got tons of pumps, lots of warding, and the ability to trample, and people just can't keep up. Your guys are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger exponentially, just going nuts. A little bit of card draw, I believe, mixed in there with I'm not sure where. Maybe there was no card draw. It seemed like there was something like that. And we got a nice collection of dual lands to help make sure we can get to the colors that we need. All right, so that's it. Before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Sholdred, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. Our plan against Fortunate Hero. Fortunate H3O. Just to be a little defensive here. Alright, so I keep that boy alive a little bit. Alright, let's go for... I gotta put the armor on this Opportunistic Scavenger, unfortunately. We'll spread the wealth a little bit, it'll be fine. Another mana next turn would be fantastic. Did not get it. And another pump in the face. Let's go for Slumbering Keepguard. 2 mana, that sucks, but we're doing really good with what we got. Hopefully he's still trying to build and doesn't have the ability to deal with it. Because we got 10 out of 11 damage poking him down right now. I think that's enough to kill him. No math! There we go, that's enough to do it. Let's just pass it around because we can. Oh, the Death Blossom takes shape. Victory! Rank up. Alright, we're playing against MOISES. Alright, well, what are we playing here? Guess white? Yeah, that's probably the best course of action. Am I gonna get this guy pumped up enough to get through that guy? Yep. Alright, I don't like what this guy's macking on me here. Let's see, this is going to be the best part here. I want to put out Calix, but that's not going to happen. So let's just steal his guy. And I think he's going to try to counter it, is what he's going to do. If he goes for a bounce, we got the Shardmage Rescue. He definitely has something going on. He's just going to take it, huh? All right, well, I have the ability to Shardmage in if I have to. It's got Ward 2, man. He's also holding one of your brothers hostage. If you're smart, you go after the enchantments. Like, what I'm hoping is that I can get another mana. So that way I can Calix it and then Shardmage if I have to. Here we go. Now he's going to steal one of those other guys, which is bad. That's bad, MK. Ward 2. Yeah, another mana I could take that guy out. That's not going to happen. Let's go for the mana. I got the mana I was looking for. All right, let's go take him out. Yeah, baby! Sure, that's fine. Yes! All right. Now I don't have the ability to protect it anymore. That's bad, MK. Hopefully he's got nothing good. And he doesn't. Victory! All right, I'm playing against Freshca. Freshca. Let's just get all Tiny Bones all lined up there. Question is, I want to slow up on this one. Maybe the answer is yes. All right, the answer is no. Rail roll's probably going to give him what? +1/+1, Ward 1. We can instant in. Let's just go for it. Oh. All right, I got 2 guys out. He's warded like a warder. What does this guy do? +3. Oh, he could be pumped if I have 3 mana. All right, cool. This guy is a maniac. Let's go for green. It's fine. All right, they're both looking really good. All in. Just say whenever I draw a card when it goes away. All right. All right, we can lay them all out next turn. This guy's ward is what his secret ability is. Disappointing. Discard a card. All right, Toadstool. I'm not giving up Calix, let's put it that way. All right, here we go. Still stronger than you, baby. Should I pick the ward? Let's put another guy with trample. All right, so we've got this guy big time. He's got to put out at least what? He's got to kill a guy and put out another guy just so he can block. He's got black. He's playing full Esper. If he wipes the board right now, we're in serious shape. The problem is that if he was able to do that, he would have done it. You could play your other card, but I don't have any cards to get rid of. It's not going to help you, is it? And I can get 2 points of damage through. It's not a problem. And we win! Touchdown, Lava Bears! All right, playing against Blues. Kim, 77. Blues, KM, 77. Keep. All right, we got a dude we could drop, so that means you're not coming out first. We've only got one guy. Hopefully he doesn't get killed. Might want to wait till next turn. So I can use a Shardmage rescue potentially. Alright, I'm going to play it. I'll play it defensively. And let's just chill. He can't do anything. The question, am I just going to blow him out of control here? That's the big question. Fast attackers. You technically have 3 whites, so 1. I want to just do 2 at a turn, so I leave the other Shardmage available. Pump. All right, and we're good to go. This is coming for 7. Get chumped. Mega put Audacity and gives them the trample. I'll do that next turn, but I got to keep them protected. That's the problem. And we win. Apparently, it doesn't require it. Victory! All right, playing against Space's Huddle. Keep. How many guys we got? Let's put out this Toadstool. He's got his ward. That'll keep him safe for a little bit. Turn the beastie off. This let me go at it a lot faster, though. Unfortunately, this has to protect a guy. This has to snag something. He doesn't have anything out. This has to go after something. Let's go for white. Guy's got some instance on him there. All right, so we got Sheltered by Ghost. Hopefully we'll be able to throw it out here in a second. Ooh, we lost 2 guys. That's not great. I'm just going to go for it. He's down to 2 and we're at 28. And we win. Suck it, Suckerfish. That's what you get for killing 2 out of 3 of my guys. All right, playing against Big Ed, 77. We got some King's Guards. That's good. I can put some of the mojo on him there. Let's scry ahead. I have no idea what that dude does. We'll find out in a bit. Draw out another guy. Once your turns, you may cast an aura from your graveyard. Well, I don't have anything in the graveyard. Draw a card. Just bouncing my guys back. Cool. Let's put them out. And they're out. What are you going to do there, Duffy Moon? Let's keep piling it on there. Let's just leave it. I get the impression this guy's still got fangs on him. We're going to pass the love around a little bit. Can't wait till I get that hexproof. That'll be really, really nice. Make me feel a lot more comfortable. All right, draw my card. Now I can keep my guy alive. I got enough for everything I got, so we're cool. We're gonna go to town and destroy you. Oh, who should we keep? I can't believe I gave up that guy. Number 1. Number 2. And all in, chicken feet. Victory. All right, so we are with Selesnya 67, and the funny part was I got a Selesnya at 100 out of this thing. 100%, could not lose. There were times it got really tight, but still, this deck pulled it off. It has such explosive moves on it. It is nuts. Nuts. The one that I like the best is when you have Calix out, and you got a guy that has first strike. How did we get first strike? It was something we had. I don't know, something gives first strike to the guys you got. And then at that point, the deal is that it comes in and does damage, at which point then Calix says, oh, you did damage to somebody. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and make a copy of something like Ethereal Armor or something. At which point then it just goes nuts. So, yeah, that was really, really, really good. Like, the thing is, I don't like this deck because it reminds me too much of Transient Kami from Kamigawa. That guy just drove me insane. I couldn't stand the fact that every time an enchantment went to your graveyard, you could just pull it back out and play it again. I mean, the Transient Kami. But this doesn't have the Transient Kami in there. This one is probably the better version just because, but Calix is so incredibly powerful. So powerful. In a deck like this, it is almost too awful. The reason why I pulled this deck and said I was willing to play it is because I had never seen, what's his name, Danitha before. I'd never seen Danitha. I didn't know what it did. I didn't even read the card. I'm just like, okay, it looks new. Therefore, it's interesting. Let's play it. And there's a few interesting cards in here. The other one is I saw Toadstool Admirer. And I know Toadstool Admirer is a combo piece. I mean, because it's like, it's got Ward 2, which keeps it from getting killed early. And you can just throw stuff onto it. It can't be shot. It's a fantastic thing in a deck that has a bunch of auras to it. All right, so let's get down to it. Who was the MVP? I mean, it's Calix. Calix by far was the MVP of this deck. He only costs 3 to put out, even though he's like the most expensive thing in this deck. That is nothing. That is nothing. And once he comes out, everything goes insane because you're throwing +1/+1 counters around like crazy. You're making copies of stuff. This guy is Nutsosaurus Rex in this deck. So yeah, Calix, you are this MVP. Congratulations, you are going to Disneyland. Secondly, was this deck competitive? Like I said, it on Aetherhub it showed as a 67%. I took it out as 100%. 100%, never lost. So this is, in my opinion, a competitive deck. I'm surprised it's not in the top 10 of competitive decks out there. It is that good, in my opinion. Maybe it is, maybe. Let me just check real quick the tier list just to see if maybe I'm not paying close enough attention. Selesnya Rabbits. I'm not seeing Selesnya. There's Selesnya Auras. I can't wait to tell. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So it's the 19th best deck out there. I mean, of all the decks that there are, being 19 is really good. Still, I would think this thing would be top 10, not top 19. I thought it was that good. All right, so let's see. Was this deck fun to play? Yes. The reason why is because it is an aggro deck. Look at that. It's number 1. It's number 1. If those are fingers, it's holding up the number 1 finger right there. Just you're throwing down things at 1 mana like crazy. And that's what makes that deck fun to play. So I love a good aggro deck. While there's no haste to this, you are, as long as you get a guy in your opening hand and you keep it alive, that guy's gonna balloon like nuts, and you get a little bit of trample on him, and people really can't do anything about it. Lastly, was this deck interesting? I don't think it was terribly interesting in that if you got Calix and then the rest of the stuff. But with getting Danitha in there, maybe the Toadstool Admirer, the Slumbering Keepguard, and plus Optimistic Scavenger, I guess all the creatures I found to be kind of interesting. I wasn't familiar with them being inside an enchantment-heavy deck. I should expect Optimistic Scavenger. This one is just asking for cheap auras to be played like crazy. Valgavoth's Lair, I don't know. This is a little, everything was relatively fast. This thing was slow, but it could be whatever color you wanted to. I'm not sure it was worth it. But we played it. It was okay. So was this an interesting deck? There were some interesting ideas to it. It was a worthy upgrade to the existing deck. And like I say, the impact of the cards and getting the win rate that I did makes it well worth the upgraded retooling that it must have gotten. So I'm not going to give it high scores from being inventive at this point, but it was definitely worth playing. All right, so let's add that up. Was this deck competitive? Absolutely. Was this deck fun? Yep, it was fun. Was this deck interesting? Not totally. So I'm just going to give it a straight A. It's a straight A deck. And if you decide to play with this deck, I hope that you have as much fun playing with it as I did. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, screw you guys, I'm going home. Bye.